Welcome. In this session, we're going to talk about what the top real estate agents know about scripts and dialogues that the rest don't. Welcome to the 13% Club. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Todd Conklin, and we are here talking about crucial conversations, critical conversations, scripts and dialogues. It doesn't really matter, right? Like everybody wants to come up with some kind of a cute little name for it. Here's the bottom line. That while the saying is that if you don't script, you don't care. And I've been known to say that. I'm not sure I necessarily believe it, but here's what I would say. I know that in all of us, what we don't want is to sound scripted, right? Like that's the one thing that nobody ever woke up and said, you know what I want to do today? I want to sound scripted. Well, that's me too. I don't want to sound scripted. It's the very, very last thing. And yet what you will, and actually here's a little exercise for you. Go to my YouTube channel and go and search for the oldest. And what you'll find is that like video number one, and you'll hear me. Hopefully I sound very different today than I did back then. But the difference is that was scripted. And today it sounds more authentic, but really I'm just better scripted. Does that make sense? So what's important about scripting and why the top real estate professionals know the power of scripting is because you've got to know exactly what to say. You've got to know when to say it, and you've got to know how to say it. And just like a pro athlete, right? They know their plays inside and out. They are as scripted can be, right? And then they show up and all of a sudden they're making these credible grabs and runs. And we were like, wow, look at the athleticism from that person. Well, it's yes, they're athletic. And yes, you're really good at talking to people and doing real estate, but it's not the whole story. The whole story is that they actually knew exactly what play they were running. So the blockers knew where to block, the runners knew where to run, the quarterback knew where to throw, and the receiver knew where to be to catch the ball to score. See, it's all scripted. And so in order to be the professional and get paid like the professional, you got to prepare like a professional. And what I find is that authenticity, that like, I want to sound natural. Well, it comes when you know your scripts and your dialogues inside and out. And there are a ton of different resources for you to find scripts and dialogues. And I'm not asking you to grab a script and read the script and sound like you're scripted. What I'm asking you to do is to get a script and practice the script. So I'm going to put down below the link to the Lethal Book of Scripts for the Sales Warrior. The Lethal Scripts, Sales Warrior. It might be a book that was written by yours truly, but it's got everything in there, y'all. Like it's got everything. Our job as real estate professionals is to help our customers communicate with us. And just because they can't communicate, maybe you have a customer that's not a really great communicator, but we're great communicators, right? So we know how to pull the information out. We've talked about that in our interview skills. And then my job is to communicate back to them my solution that I believe in so much. Like this is the thing that's going to solve their problem. And I'm going to communicate it back to them with the right level of clarity, right level of passion, emotion. And yes, I'm going to help them make the best decision for them to solve their problem. That's closing. See, these are all scripts and dialogues. We've talked in previous sessions about like, if you were going to go hire a surgeon, well, a surgeon has a process to each procedure. I go hire a surgeon to do surgery on me. They're a specialist in that particular surgery, right? Otherwise I wouldn't hire them. And so they have a way of doing it. They know exactly what they're going to do first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. The scripts and the dialogues are no different. They're just a simple process to how you're going to speak. What are you going to talk about? When's an appropriate time to have those conversations? And then how do you have the conversation? I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about communication. Do we all know that if we want somebody to listen a little bit better, we might slow down our cadence and lower our voice? So people have to lean in just a little bit more. See, that's scripts. That's dialogues. That's practicing your profession and getting really good at it.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I'm going to get you right back to the video, but most of you know me as a real estate broker, or maybe somebody who's built and scaled one of the fastest growing sales organizations in the country. What you may not know is that I also work with other sales professionals and leaders that are looking to grow and scale their businesses and just live badass lives. The one place that I have everybody start, the very first spot, is the lethal scripts for the sales warrior. I'm going to give you one for free today just so that you can get a little taste of what it is that we're doing out there. So click on the link below. We'll send you the information and let's get back to the video.
The other thing is that we know that if we communicate properly and somebody begins to engage with us, the next step for them is that they're going to be asking questions. We call them objections, but really what they are is invitations. They're invitations for you to provide clarity and then help them make the best decision for them. Oftentimes, if we're not prepared and we don't have scripts and dialogues, we haven't practiced these things. Well, when we get a question, we go, that's not professional. Remember, it's know, like, and trust. See, you want to sound so good, so confident, so passionate about what it is that you're sharing with them in your solution that they can't help but trust you. Remember, I'm literally giving them my emotion. I'm giving them my eyeballs so that they can see what I can see. They are going to trust you because you sound so good, because you practiced so much, and you know exactly the right words to use in that situation. Let me give you an example. Okay. So if I go into a listing presentation, one of the ways that we teach doing a listing presentation is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know you're super busy and I want to honor your time. Do you mind if I just give you the 5 things every seller asks before they list their property with me? And then I would list off the 5 things. Like, what are the 5 things? Well, you'll decide what the 5 things are, but typically speaking, right? What are they? What's the price? What are you going to do for marketing? How long is it going to take you? Have you done this before? Maybe it's 7 for you. Okay. But that's a script and a dialogue, and it's yours. Now, I want you to borrow mine, and I want you to download that book, right? The Lethal Scripts for the Sales Warrior. If you haven't gotten it, get it. If you have gotten it, read it. If you've only read it once, read it 10 times. Find the areas. Like, that thing should be marked up. You should have highlighters and pens and dog ears, and you should have another little book on the side so that you can take the areas that you've been challenged, the things that you often hear, and you should make them your own so that you can practice your scripts and they can go into your DNA. And one day, my hope is that you're going to be like, I don't even know where I got this script. And maybe you got it from me, but I want you to take ownership of it. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about you being a part of the top 13%. It's about you building a great business. But in order to do that, you're going to need to know what to say, when to say, and how to say it. Thanks for being here in this session of the 13% Club. I will see you at the next video.